everyone.
Hi.
Welcome back to a new episode of What a K-Drama.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Kathleen.
My name is Ilse.
And today we are going to talk about Vincenzo.
Vincenzo Cassaro.
This drama took ages. Ages to watch. It's just that, I love all the actors, okay? But let's say it just took me a while to get into the story. Because
Same.
Let's get first the basic facts and then let's just share our thoughts about Vincenzo.
Mm-hmm. Today we're going into a bit of a deep dive. We watched the entire series and we're going to talk about plot and storyline parallels and whatnot. So, stick around for an interesting discussion, I gather.
So, just warning, if you haven't watched Vincenzo,
don't listen to this.
We're going to give a lot of spoilers and also our thoughts about it. And this is based on our experience watching K-dramas, I suppose.
We're going to dissect the entire thing. So, if you haven't seen it yet...
just don't, please.
Unless, of course, you don't mind spoilers, then feel free to stick around.
Of course.
You know.
But just keep in mind that we are very opinionated when it comes to dramas. That's it.
Yeah.
So, let's start. Hit me with the facts.
So, Vincenzo is a dark comedy created by Studio Dragon and then distributed by TVN.
Yep.
And eventually found an international audience with Netflix as well.
Yes.
It was written by Park Jae-bom and directed by Kim Hee-won. And it stars Song Joong-ki, John Yo-bin, Ok Tae-kyun, Tae-kyun, Kim Yo-jin, Kwak Dong-yeon, and Jo Han-chul.
Yes.
It's a mafia story.
It's a mafia story with comedy.
Yeah, hence the dark comedy.
Oh, dark comedy. Yeah. It is a bit of a mix of a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that the fact that it wasn't a romance, normally into romance, rom-coms and all of that, I didn't mind that.
Which part?
That it wasn't a rom-com.
Oh.
You know?
That's one of the things that I genuinely enjoyed about this one.
Yeah, but you normally watch dramas that...
I know, but the romance parts felt very organic. And they started off as enemies, became friends, became partners.
And also wasn't part of the main storyline. It was like a add-on.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, it wasn't...
So... Yeah. It was an add-on basically because it just happened, not because, it was meant to be. You know what I mean?
Oh my god, they met each other as children.
Imagine. I mean, it's happened like a few times. I mean, like a few times, more often than not, in fairness. But okay, let's move on to the plot.
So basically, Vincenzo, played by Song Joong-ki, is the consigliere of an Italian mafia family that adopted him as a child. So he's from Korea, was adopted in Italy, and ended up working for the Italian mafia as a lawyer, hence the consigliere.
Yes.
His adopted father was the head of the mafia, and that's where our story begins.
Yeah.
The father is murdered?
Yeah, I think the father dies in a way. We still don't... Well, I don't remember.
Me neither.
I don't remember.
I feel like they kind of... glossed over that rather quickly.
The father dies and then it becomes a war between his brother and himself.
Yeah. So Vincenzo and his bro
kind of a little revenge. Yeah, fighting with like guns and violence basically.
I mean, it's part of the mob.
That is true, but that was our first episode and it just, the first episode, let's be fair, it is, you get like, whoa, is this it?
Oh, yeah. He sets an entire vineyard up in flames.
Yeah.
Loved
Which
that.
apparently is also quite common, I heard. Because I actually asked, I was like, is that a thing in the mafia, the Italian mafia? They were like, yeah, it can happen. I was like, okay, I suppose. Okay.
Really random question. Does ITZY have a song, like, in the mafia? Yeah.
They do, but it's not
linked to... That is like playing in the back of my mind the entire time since we started. And I'm like...
I think Vincenzo came out first in that song, in fairness. Vincenzo ran for last year, I think.
It was 2021.
2021?
Yeah, but...
okay.
I think partly why it took us so long to finish it is because there's 20 episodes and they're all like an hour and a half.
we're used to 16 episodes.
Of like 40 minutes to an hour.
Yeah. So I think we're used to that. And then 20 episodes. I was like, why? Like, I get it, but really? You know, I just had the feeling through the full story. I was like, why are you making it so long? This could have been solved 2 episodes ago.
Very much so. But let's continue with the plot.
Let's continue.
Okay, so the father dies. Vincenzo and his bro are fighting because somewhere in Korea, Gunga Plaza, by the way, where most of the story is going to take place.
Yes.
There's an entire vault, basement, kind of.
Yeah.
With tons and tons of gold.
Yeah.
Like, you know, in the movies you have like the blocks of gold.
Yeah.
It's that, but an entire basement of it.
Yeah.
So they're both kind of trying to chase that gold. At some parts of the story, I feel like the gold is like they don't think about it that much anymore because they have another enemy to fight.
Like, the thing is that the gold at the beginning was the main
drive for everything.
Yeah, it was like the main drive because that was his mission, and out of nowhere, the goal became like a side story.
It was so weird.
Yeah.
And then in the end, I felt like it was so easy to crack it open.
Yes. Like, it was... Yeah. Okay, let's continue.
Yeah, let's continue. So, Vincenzo, lawyer in Italy, goes to Korea to hide from his brother and find the gold.
Yes.
Right? He ends up teaming up together with the lawyer from Jipuragi law firm, run by Hong Yu-chan. Jipuragi law firm is basically a law firm for the underdog that is fighting against like huge corporations.
Yeah.
Because corporations are always shady for some reason, you know?
Yes.
They start teaming up against Babel.
Babel is a big corporation.
Yes.
That has very unethical practices.
Yeah, we kind of do know that straight from the beginning, right? With the scientists who died.
You know that in the episode 2, like...
Yeah.
Like, you know that straight away, like, something is not quite right with that company, okay?
Yeah. Now, they're fighting against Babel because Babel wants to pay, like, they want to get rid of all the inhabitants of Gunga Plaza so that they can build their Babel Tower there. Which for me still is a bit random. Like, if there's so much fighting going on with all the inhabitants of the plaza, just move it somewhere else.
Okay.
Like, you have the money. Just relocate.
Yeah.
You know? Anyways, it's a whole thing. They hire, like, thugs to, like, beat everyone up. But, of course, everyone in the plaza is a secret boxer, weightlifter...
Yeah.
Part of the what was the company? Like the NIS?
Oh, the cloud company.
No. The government. Like the FBI, but Korean.
Oh, yes. Yeah, like the Special Forces International Division, whatever he was. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone has like this super secret skill. I'm like...
very random.
It's like, how much luck do you have all at once?
There's no normal people. They're all boxers, skilled, like, fighters.
Uh-huh.
You know? Weightlifters.
For me, I was like, okay, easy plot point there, but, you know. Anyways, Vincenzo starts bonding with all the inhabitants.
Yeah.
Start, you know, becoming besties. And then he decides that he's gonna...
Help them
because he also needs that building because that basement is filled with its gold.
Yeah.
You know, so he can't sell it to Babel.
Well, it wasn't quite his gold. This gold belonged to the Chinese
dudes.
Yeah, the Chinese mafia. And he had some dodgy business happening. They had some dodgy business there.
And he's still a mafia member. Of course it's going to be dodgy.
Of course. Yeah, so that was right. It wasn't his goal in reality.
Well...
He was getting paid to get that goal out of it. Like, out of that place.
Yeah. Anyways, that's the main plot.
That's the main plot. So, the full story...
It feels so unnecessarily complicated, in my opinion.
I mean, it's interesting for sure, because it's not your typical drama story, let's be honest, okay? A mafia member does some dodgy business with the Chinese. They end up hiding tons and tons of gold worth millions and millions.
Billions.
Into this random old shopping center.
Yeah. Why did it even end up there in the first place?
Because it was like a place that not many people would think about. Like, why there, you know? So they hide all of this there. And then, well, it happens that the owner of the gold kind of gets assassinated. And this full plot, so he's like, okay, now I'm the only one that knows that the gold is there. So let's get it out. It's mine now. So it's a very interesting. On top of that, he also gets involved into the Babylon situation because they want the building.
Mm-hmm.
All this thing happens. And the thing is that Vincenzo was like the anti-hero.
Very much so.
So he was like, I am a villain, but you're worse than me, so we're gonna fight. I'm gonna be a mafia dude here, you know? So I think that was very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Vincenzo was super, still is super popular.
Yeah.
Like, the ratings were insane, popularity was insane. I think it made so much money.
Yeah.
Like, viewership on Netflix as well.
In general, it was like the number one drama, I believe, whenever it was airing. It was like super popular. Everyone was like, yes, Vincenzo! Everyone was talking about it.
Buying the lighter situation.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I saw some people on TikTok with like the golden lighter. Okay. Vincenzo made me do it.
Okay. So yeah, I think that it was because the hype surrounding it was because it was a different story, you know? It's not your common story.
Yeah. Usually the line between the heroes and the villains are quite clear. Like the hero only does hero stuff, the villain only does villain stuff. But with this one, it was very much intermixed.
He was bad.
He was still a mafia guy. Like, of course he's gonna murder people.
Yeah, but the thing is that somehow, because like whenever I finished the drama, I was like, I understand why they loved his character so much, because he was a bad guy, like a solid bad guy, but he had, I think you said, he had good people around him, and that made him less bad. On top of that, he didn't lose it whenever he was being bad. Like, he was very cold-blooded. Like, he was like really, really bad, but he had a reason for everything. Yeah,
I think it's an interesting discussion to have about the parallels between Vincenzo and Hansok, who's played by Taekyon, who's the most evilest dude of all the evilest dudes, you know?
He was evil just for the sake of being evil.
He was a psychopath.
He was literally examined, and he's a psychopath, like clinically.
He murdered people when he was a teenager.
So the thing is that with him, he just was bad for being bad. No reason behind, you know.
It was for his own personal gain, but I think he had too much pleasure
doing it.
Torturing,
but at
abusing,
the beginning,
whatever.
What he did with his first murder, I don't think it was just pleasure. There was no reason behind, you know. Because with the other ones, was okay, he wants a tower. He wants to build his dream tower business. It's not the right way. But boy was like crazy. Also, he had his alter ego with curly hair that we all thought was good.
Yeah. So we don't know that Hansok is the head of Babel until like halfway?
Never half. Well, almost halfway. Almost halfway.
Yeah. There's like a figurehead that is played by Kwak Dong-yeon. He plays Chairman Jang Hon-so.
And he is his brother that is an absolute marshmallow. That's the only thing I have to say. He was a soft boy.
Hanso?
No, Hanso.
I feel so bad for Hanso, man.
He was, his life is being horrible. His life was horrible, okay? He had like heavy PTSD. He was abused.
He was abused by Hansok. To make it easy, Hanso is soft, figurehead. Yeah. Hansok is the evil...
the evil brother.
Taekyon.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But I think it was interesting to see that the patterns for Hansok started as a teenager. Yes. Because you discover that throughout the series but with like little bits and pieces that, for example, Hansel was abused by his brother, that Hansok was sent to the States after murdering some of his classmates.
Yeah. To cover up and all of that, but he just became worse in the States.
Pretty much, man.
And then he comes back, he's like, I'm gonna be now a cute lawyer with curly hair.
Mm-hmm. He pretends to be someone else, joins the law firm that works for Babel.
Yeah.
And no one suspects anything because he's like,
no one.
Happy-go-lucky, throwing some random English that was kind of weird in the beginning, but...
What's interesting is that Vincenzo, whenever he speaks with Hansel, he finds out that he's not the boss. Mm-hmm. He's not it. Because boy is so soft. It's like, he's legit so soft.
Yeah, well...
You know.
Yeah, he's a victim.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was interesting to see, for sure.
Mm. What I find interesting is how we all collectively hate Hansok, but we all collectively love Vincenzo as well. There are parallels because they both use bad stuff to get their way.
Yeah.
However, when it's with Vincenzo, we're like, you're so smart, you go. But when it's Hansok, we're like, oh my god, he's so evil.
If I'm honest, at the beginning, I felt like that. But with the last episodes, I was like, this dude is also sick in the head. Like, the level
of evil. The last episode.
Yeah.
Where he's like...
He goes full on mafia. And it's like, whoa.
Wait. It kind of makes sense, though. Because the dude did murder his mother.
It just makes sense. But look...
he's still evil.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just murder someone, murder someone. But, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the thing is that there was like two different sides in Vincenzo. You had like this heavy mafia stuff where the dude, he was very skilled. He was a consigliere, of course.
Very intimidating.
Extremely smart.
Knows how to push your buttons.
Yes, absolutely. And then you had the other side of Vincenzo's story that involved more the plaza. And it was... I felt that...
like innocent goofball as well.
Yes. I was like, where is my mafia dude? You know...
Yes, that's one of the parts that I wasn't fond of.
Yeah.
As soon as Vincenzo comes to Korea, he gets scammed.
Why?
And it's like, they get away with it.
Yes.
You're telling me that an Italian mafia dude doesn't know when he's being scammed and then doesn't retaliate?
Yeah. Like, that was also that's just not okay.
No.
It just doesn't sit quite right, you know?
I think the inhabitants of Gunga Plaza were cute, lovable, quirky side characters.
But sometimes it was a bit too much to digest.
Yeah.
So I love them. The individuals were very interesting. As an individuals, they were all very interesting. These people have like very, very amazing like backgrounds.
You have a chef that is lying for years that he's been to Italy to study Italian cuisine.
Yeah, but then you have a couple that it was a wrestler and a weightlifting.
Yeah, I think so.
And a weightlifter, I believe. And they seem like normal people, but they're not really. Mm. Then you have these seamstress, that the dude.
The one with the scissors?
Yeah.
He used to be in a gang, and he could handle scissors like crazy. And he's like, at one point there's like a fight scene in a hallway, and he's like, chop, 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 in their shoulders and stuff.
And voice is killed.
Like, and he's like unfazed, like he's done it. I'm like, just another Saturday, you know.
And then you have a woman that runs a little like traditional restaurant. It was a boxer, and like how? And
then there was a pianist.
Oh yeah,
who was also a hacker.
Yes, that worked for the mafia, like the Chinese mafia. Like
what's on earth?
What are the odds? That's my point.
That they're all in one plaza. Yeah. Beats me. I don't know.
So that was one thing that I was a bit like, I mean, interesting because the characters, I think that's what made Vincenzo so popular also, is that it wasn't all fully dark. Maybe because we expected that it was like going to be
I was expecting like
dark
full
stuff.
Dark. Yeah. Like most of my...
Because I think Vincenzo is sold like that, like in the posters and all of that. Mm-hmm. Is sold like that.
Mm-hmm. You know? The suits, the gun, the lighter.
But then
it's
when
like gentleman mafia, you know?
But I think that they also balance very well the fluff, well, not fluffy, but it like light stuff, like light stories, the struggle of the people of the plaza, the people in the Buddhist temple, the very random dude that wanted to perform like a zombie, like all of that. It was like
it's also partly a court drama.
Yeah, like in that studio, a lot of things happen. In fairness,
I feel like they may have tried to mix too many genres in one show.
It was like a quirky comedy mixed with like a thriller, maybe?
Dark police, mafia stuff, with then courtroom drama as well, with then also like a slice of romance thrown in.
Yeah. Very, very, very
It was a lot. Sometimes.
It was a lot. Yeah, it was hard to keep up. And sometimes it just got too quirky.
Yeah. For me, my favorite part was definitely the mafia stuff. Like, I love the emotional manipulation, like the mafia shows up in your house and has dinner with your kids and your wife, and you just show up and you're like, oh my god, I'm in trouble, he's gonna murder me.
Yeah, for me, my favorite part was mostly the lawyer. I think she was amazing. She was like a strong woman, very smart. She was like super smart. And not just that, she just had this spark that she was like evil, but good evil, because she was also kind of crazy, okay?
Yeah, she was kind of like following Vincenzo around to like learn how to be a mafia. We're talking about Hong Chae-young, played by John Yobin, by the way.
Yeah.
Her character was very good. I liked her a lot.
Really good, because her character pretty much, it was super smart. So I like that she knew that she continued on. This is the thing that I really loved, that one episode where she was like, okay, so they're going to try to murder me, basically. And then she called the press. And they were like, yeah, I'm fighting against them. I'm going to public saying I am going to be the one that's going to revenge all these people. So if something happened to her...
Exactly. All eyes will turn to the most likely suspects.
Yes. So that was such a smart
Clever
move.
ploy. Yeah.
That was not actually a Vincenzo's thought. It was her thought. So that's why you know that she just was with Vincenzo for the sake of like learning the mafia style, but she could have done it herself, basically.
I think with her character there was a very nice balance between hard lawyer, will do anything to get to her goal, whereas she also had her softer side when like her father passed away, was murdered basically, and when they meet Vincenzo's mother, she's like, she gets the situation and she tries to give them space.
Yeah, you show like her human side. That's
yeah. It was a very interesting 3D, fully fleshed out character.
Yeah, well, Vincenzo, the only thing that you get that is like human, in fairness, was the little interaction
when
with
he feeds the bird.
The bird at times, and whenever he loses his mother. Yeah. But other than that, Boy was absolutely driven by his ambition and playing his cards extremely well.
Yeah. Let's talk about the cinematography and the CGI. There were some very stunning transitions in Vincenzo. Yeah. Where they suddenly flip the screen like upside down and it transitions into a new scene. I thought that was really beautiful. It didn't feel super seamless because I was sometimes just like, wow, oh my god, this shot is amazing. Yeah. So it did kind of take me out of the story sometimes. But on the other hand, it's also just beautiful to see. Yeah. CGI.
The CGI, I don't think it was what. Let's keep in mind that they had to do CGI on actually Italian buildings. Yeah. That have been built for like hundreds of years, okay? These houses are old. And I think they did well. I do believe that they did a good job with this. Like sometimes I was like a bit much, but other times they kind of nailed it. And I wasn't, it wasn't too bad for me. What do you think?
I thought it was kind of funny sometimes. Because I was like, this feels weird. Yes. Yeah. But
if you haven't been to Italy,
they didn't use it like a whole lot.
No, but the first episode was heavy CGI. But if you haven't been to Italy, you'll be fine. You will notice. In fairness.
Yeah, no, I get your point.
It's gonna be like, oh, that's a cool building. I wonder where they filmed it. That's it.
Look up the behind the scenes so you can see like the CGI happening.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting to see because he's just playing in front of a green screen.
Boy's a good actor.
Skills,
Boy's a good actor, absolutely. Yes?
Let's talk about the Italian.
The Italian. Which Italian?
When Vincenzo.
Oh, he's Italian.
He's Italian.
So... like
from the Spanish speaker.
From a Spanish speaker, like I do interact with a lot of Italians, and sometimes it wasn't too bad, I suppose. Of course, it wasn't like a native speaker, but he wasn't a native speaker to begin with. He should have been like, I think that I don't know. Sometimes I was like, boy, that seems a bit too forced, like. The pronunciation was a bit...
The amount of cazzo that I heard was like, oh, Jesus, okay.
Like, sometimes the pronunciation felt a bit, like, pushed, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And not as natural.
Oh.
But it wasn't too bad. Like, I watched a couple of YouTube videos about actually Italian speakers talking about his accent. And they were like, yeah, he nailed the pronunciation, but maybe he's stressing too hard on this syllable.
I think the intonation sometimes was a bit
off. And all yeah.
But to be fair... He did just, he had a dialect coach.
He was learning Italian for this drama.
Exactly.
And I think that's remarkable because, Korean structure and Italian structure are completely different. And learning it just to film a drama.
And even just, like, pronunciations.
Oh, absolutely different.
Like, two different worlds.
Absolutely.
So, good effort.
Yeah, well done, actually.
But I feel like they should have held back with the katsu a bit. Just saying.
Maybe.
Yeah. Let's talk about the fashion as well.
I love the fashion of the lawyer. What was her name? She was...
Hong Chaeyoung.
Her fashion was incredible.
So pretty.
Also, just here, we were kind of checking the outfits, and they're not, like, too bad.
Well,
like, jewelry-wise.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I only checked the jewelry because I was like...
Jewelry-wise, it's, like, achievable,
It's all, like, Swarovski. So...
Yeah.
That's not the worst.
No, I think they did an excellent job with the outfits, all like everyone. Even the people from the plaza were like, okay, it wasn't like too flashy.
Yeah. So the people in the plaza start to become like the Gunga Cassano family.
And they get a full...
Yeah, they have like a uniform at one point where they all wear like black suits.
They look neat.
In all its variants. They looked so cool. There was like this silk suit by this like goth girl who's constantly like combing her hair, which I thought was a bit bizarre.
She's an accountant in reality.
She looked so good. Oh my god.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So the fashion on point. So well done to the styling team. Excellent job. Okay. Any other point we have to touch with Vincenzo?
Character arcs?
Character arcs. I think that the main character arcs that were developed 100% was Hansok's, Vincenzo's, and Chaeyoung's. They were like the main characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they did a great job developing them, I think, because with Hansok, from the very beginning, well, whenever you know that he is like a psychopath.
The bad guy.
Yeah, you know what to expect. Like, boy is like crazy to the core. And, but at the same time, all of this is because he's very ambitious and he wants this to happen. He doesn't really care about who he has to step on.
With him, I don't think that there's necessarily a character arc. Because it's not like he redeems himself or we learn something new. It's just that as soon as we realize who he is, he can drop the fake nice boy act and just go full-blown crazy.
Also, he just changes once he meets Vincenzo and he becomes brave. Somehow he becomes brave. He becomes smarter. He starts to learn that he doesn't need his brother.
I feel like he has a bit of a support system.
Yes, where before... he was on his own.
Yeah, and he just had like people surrounding him that all had their own motives and whatnot.
Yeah.
Vincenzo and Hong Chaeyoung have their own motives, but they mean it well.
Yeah.
And they're trying to like look out for him.
Yeah.
So it kind of like makes him blossom a little bit. And the whole relationship between him and Vincenzo was so cute.
It was very cute. Then we have Chayon, because Chayon's character, she started off being this cold lawyer that worked for the firm that looks after Babel. Uh-huh. So she looks after, and she's like really good at what she does. She's one of the ones that is working to sort of like cover up all the cases that it's happened.
She's actively working against her father.
Yes.
In Gibraltar law firm.
Yeah.
Which constantly,
Yes. She's very smart, but then whenever her father is assassinated, she changes, and she also notices what is really happening in the company, and then she changes just kind of flips side.
Yeah, and you can like see her empathy towards the victims as well.
Yes,
which is kind of a really nice growth in the character.
And because she also becomes a victim herself. She loses her father because of the ambitions of this company.
Yeah.
So that makes her change, and then you see like how she deals, because she deals with a lot of like stress, also the repercussion of having lost her father, all of that. And I think her character was really, really good.
Yeah, I love her character a lot.
Yeah, had a good development. She was smart. She was a strong woman, and I loved it.
Yes.
Yeah, she could even defend herself. Like this one scene when she's attacked and she's going in, she's going off, and she was like, "Okay, 1 minute." She was trying to fight or run. Like she's really, really good.
Yeah.
And with Vincenzo. With Vincenzo, I believe that his character arc is kind of similar to Taekhyon's, if I'm honest. Like, we know that he's a bad guy. And his ultimate goal is to get the gold out of the thingy. He doesn't really become good. He's still looking after the gold. And what happened with the company happens to be in the middle for him to get the gold.
Oh, he definitely reaches his end goal. But I do think that his edges are a little bit softer in the end.
After seeing the torture thing, I don't think so. It's just like he is very smart, kind of manipulative at times.
Kind of, definitely, 100%.
Sometimes
ruthless.
I call that moment the mafia mode. When he goes mafia mode, he's not the soft boy. But when he's being the soft boy, at the same time he's being very smart on his move. It's not like I'm a soft boy. It's like I'm a soft boy, but I'm checking you to see what you're doing.
I'm a soft boy.
So in fairness, the only thing that I think differentiated Vincenzo from Hansock's was the way Vincenzo had a soft side.
Yeah. He had a human side. Let's say it like that.
Like a human side. He cared about his family in Italy as well. He was working. Like, he kept communication with his family in Italy. And they were he was actually looked after them with his contacts in Italy and all of that. He helped these people to reach his end goal, let's be honest. Whereas Hansock's, he was just evil for the sake of being evil. Like proper...
Boy was crazy, what can I say?
I have to say, Taekhyon's well done, man. Such an incredible job portraying that character. Because it's so... you hate the character straight away. It's like the first interaction with Hanso, you hate him.
My poor boy.
Yes. Yes, what do you think about the character arcs?
I think they did a pretty good job with that one. But they also had 20 episodes, so they better have a good character arc.
Yes.
Just saying.
Please, imagine if they did it. I would have just dropped it. It took us literally 2 months watching Vincenzo because the episodes were quite long. And sometimes it took like 2 episodes for Vincenzo to go back to his mafia mode. To go back to business and get his gold out of that place.
I kind of wish that they had kept it at 16 episodes.
Same.
They could have cut like some small storyline somewhere. But they could have kept it 16 episodes.
I believe so too. Yeah, absolutely.
Even if the 16 episodes were like an hour and a half, I wouldn't have minded. No. Because that's still like more than 4 hours cut.
Yes.
Also, there was this one really random moment where he's literally saved from an assassination attempt by a whole bunch of pigeons, which was so random for me.
But I think that's part of the comedy, this kind of comedy.
I know, but still.
I mean, it was unexpected. You have to give that to the writer.
Look, if Vincenzo can be saved by a bunch of pigeons, then I want my boy Hanso to come back to life. Throw in a pigeon somewhere, I don't know. But bring my boy back, okay?
It was fun. I mean, it was fun to watch. I have to say, what very random. That pigeon was so smart, like for real. It was pretty insane. Iñaki, we like you.
We still a bird.
Well, I like you. Anyways,
not the biggest fan of pigeons. Not
yes,
but yeah, it should have been shorter for me.
Okay, I kind of agree with some part. I was like, that's really necessary. But other than that, I think they did a good job. They did a good job, and also it kind of deserved the hype because it was out there being different.
Yeah, that's true. I think they found their niche very well, and it was something that hasn't really been done before.
Yeah, and also covers so many genres that you were going to find something that you liked about Vincenzo.
Oh, 100%. There's going to be something in there for you because they took every genre.
Basically.
Yeah.
So that was it for this episode of Vincenzo.
I think so. It took a while, but
yes,
Yeah,
so remember to go to thecameo.com for more drama reviews and a lot of K-pop content. And if you want to watch this video, please support us in our Patreon for this video and exclusive content as well. So we'll see you next time with a new episode of What a K-Drama. Bye-bye!